Good evening. I hope everybody is doing well. I'm surprised I actually am here. I figured I was gonna get schwacked, and I could indeed get schwacked, because they already removed that cat's profile, or at least kind of blocked everybody from it on Facebook. The YouTube channel that I got that link for that video that I put out earlier, that YouTube channel's gone, and so yeah. I don't I don't understand the good in shoving everything under the rug. I think in those files there was sorry, I was laughing at in the chat about the dog that barked every night. There's a video about fire. Anyway, or meme, I should say, about no, it was video about fireworks. Wait, do I have a copy of that handy to show? Hey, dude, tag me if you can do this. Tag me in that, and I'll play it on the show. Do me a favor, find that for me and tag me in it real quick so I can get a hold of it easy. Anyway, so this file that I had downloaded, and it's got these videos and pictures and stuff in it, and thank you, sir, and it's got the video and pictures in it, and it's just it seems to me, and I still haven't watched all of the videos. It's disturbing. It's really disturbing, because I think that last video says it all. I think the emergency broadcast tone, as he's revealing the street. I believe that is the street that he did that on, and there were previous videos of that street. Apparently, I guess that this is just it seems to me this isn't something that he just came up with overnight. And that's just my opinion, but it seems to me like this had been planned for at least a little bit of time. I mean, at least a little bit of time. Aha. I see somebody has mentioned me. Hang on here. Got to break the monotony a little bit here. If it'll let me get it in there. Let me find it. Anyway, this is the video, if I can... Wait a minute. Oops. I believe I'm closing stuff I shouldn't be closing. Hang on. I will get it squared away. Why did that not... Oh, I see. 'Cause I'm a tard, that's why. Okay. Sorry about the 5 days to get here, but we got here. So you got to see this anyway. I got to unmute it 5,000 places. Okay, so you have to, you got to check this out. This is hilarious.
Hey.
Hey. Hey, I'm Karen. I live a couple houses down the street.
Uh-huh.
So I was wondering, could you guys maybe go easy on the fireworks this year? My dog, she gets really nervous. She doesn't sleep. She prances
Oh,
around.
I'm sorry. Oh,
Yeah.
Two houses down. Is that the big brown dog?
Yes. Yeah, that's her.
The one that stays up until like 11:30, 12 o'clock at night barking and is up at 5:30 every morning barking?
Yeah, she does get excited.
Hey, babe, get your purse. We're going to buy more fireworks.
Oh, man. That's classic. That is so classic. Anyway, yeah, that was, I didn't even think about that. That was a good reminder. So anyway, yeah, this this whole thing with this kid is unreal, and it would appear that there had been warning signs, or should have been warning signs, for a very long time. Now, I try. I do try not to judge, but when people get tattoos on their face and stuff, I do have to kind of question. And okay, he was an aspiring rapper, and I get that. But I think, just my personal opinion, there again, I was young and stupid at one time. Now I'm just old and stupid. But maybe when I was that age, if I was an aspiring rapper, I might have gotten my face tattooed. But I was actually careful when I chose where I got my tattoos, because I wanted to be able to cover them up. That was actually a conscious thought, is I wanted to be able to cover them up for like job interviews or what have you. I didn't want to permanently do something that would just right from the first second would put somebody automatically in a different frame of mind. And I'm sorry, but when you see somebody with tattoos on their face, at least most of us at least get some type of a gut feeling, and call that judgment, whatever. I just think that unless it's something that you're guaranteed a good life from, might not be such a good idea, and honestly, I don't see a whole lot that you can expect a good life from. Maybe the music industry, if you can keep the hits churning out, if you can keep playing their politics and all of that other stuff, then yeah. But what's the chances? The one in how many million chances? So I don't know. I think that, and maybe we'll find out that there has been contact with this individual. From my understanding, was it this? Wait, I might be mixing up stories. So, the uncle. I'm trying to recall anything and everything that I pulled in today. The uncle spoke. I've got on the TV up there. I've got it's still on right now. It's Live Now News or something like that. It's like a Fox thing. We don't have cable TV. We've got antenna TV. But because the Roku TV is hooked up to the internet, we get a bunch of streaming channels that it populates for us on the tuner, page or whatever. And so that's what this channel is that I've got on up there. It's just a news channel, 24/7 news channel. A lot of times it's just recordings, but if there's something big going on, they will do live broadcast. So anyway, I watch it, and I've had it on pretty much all day. It's still on now. And the uncle was on there, and he was apologizing profusely. He was deeply affected by what was going on. I know the father, I guess it was the father's Facebook page that I also had ran across. There were a lot of people on the father's Facebook page really, being cruel to him. And, hey, I wouldn't be so cruel and judgmental towards the father. Let's see what is uncovered from all of this. Obviously, I don't think that it was his firearm, that it was the the 22-year-old's firearm. I have a feeling it's going to come out that it was the dad's firearm. We'll see. I don't know. A lot of information yet that, they'll need to release. But I think so far, just from what I have been able to see, largely the contents of that file, I think this had been planned out for some time. And I don't know. I don't know how this stuff can really go that far off the radar. I know in that video I made, I mentioned the number 47 being on his car, on a car, and on other places, on a wall in one of the videos that he made. And there were a couple of different answers as to what it could be. One being that it could be the date, because it is, here in the U.S. we'd say 7/4, but as somebody in the comments, if you're over across the pond, it would be 4/7. So that's one thing. I know somebody else had mentioned something about some type of, I don't know, it was some type of angel or something. I can't remember what the comment was. You would have to go look on that video and find it. Wow. Just insanity. And I'm sure quite a bit of information will come out tomorrow yet on it. I know that probably the conspiracy theorists are going to be all up and down this and sideways and all of that. Let's see what information comes out. I do want to make note of one thing. I feel obligated to make note of this. There was somebody that I had heard on not just one place, but I had heard it on this TV that I was watching, whatever the live streaming video that I'm watching, and live streaming video from one of the local news websites, and they both had this guy on there talking about how he saw the shooter, and that the shooter was not on a roof, that the shooter was on ground level, and that he was in a kneeled crouch position, and just steady firing. And this guy is completely confident in his statement. Now, I find that very interesting. Later on, at the press conference, when they announced that he had been captured, there was a question that was asked, and that question was he alone? Now, I have to think about that and wonder about when are they asking him, about if he was alone, during the shooting or when they picked him up. I haven't heard anything news-wise about possibility of a second person involved, and I don't know necessarily that there was, but I feel that I wouldn't be being responsible if I didn't say that, if I didn't, this guy was on 2 different news outlets telling his story and making the same claim. And I know that some people don't see things or remember things correctly. I understand all that. But that's a pretty damn big discrepancy. Pretty damn big discrepancy. Now, I don't know who that might have been. Okay? Who knows? I don't know. I don't know who that guy could have been. I have no idea. Just seems odd that somebody would just make something up like that. So I don't know. I'm sure that the investigation to this point has well proven that he was up on top of that building, because there's going to be shell casings all over on the rooftop. So I'm sure that's a no-brainer. I'm just curious about why that person claimed that there was somebody ground level shooting. And I don't think that's something we should just glance over. So, I'll tell you what, I did have a little bit of concern today for, just because of 4th of July, Independence Day. But I honestly, it wasn't concern in this manner. It was more concern with what's going on over in Ukraine. I thought, well, maybe something could kick off over there today. And I think maybe quite a few people were kind of watching that. But, yikes. And I know the big whole CERN thing. I'm not saying that CERN can't cause problems, that CERN won't cause problems. I'm not saying that. Not at all. But we keep hearing these same claims over and over and over and over of what CERN's going to do. And it doesn't even make our lights flicker. So, and if it was really screwing up the Earth's magnetosphere that bad, people would be seeing the aurora borealis all over. All over. So, I gotta kind of call BS on some of that. Now, I'm, again, not defending CERN, not saying what they're doing with CERN is a good thing, not making any of those kinds of claims at all. I'm just saying that it seems a little bit like the boy that cried wolf at this point. So, other than that, I didn't expect something like this today. I figured maybe something would happen over with Ukraine. But, anyway, don't know of anything else. Yeah, I agree, Hexapus, definitely. If there was a second shooter, I'm sure it will come out pretty quick. Which video are you talking about? His social media photos were disturbing along with the video he made. I'm wondering which video you're talking about. Because apparently the guy, I guess he enjoyed making videos. I'm a racist now. Somebody commented on that video. Dude was whack, yet you have the Don't Tread on Me flag. Same flag the racists share. The Trump fans love this flag. Cremo was a Trump fan. No, he was not a Trump fan. Somebody pointed out in the comments of the video, he was actually like undercover at a Trump event. So it wasn't quite that. Come on, you're not gonna see a bunch of Trump fans out there getting face tattoos. That's not really kind of the typical type of people that would be Trump fans. And I don't like Trump myself. So as far as your comment about my flags, had nothing to do with Trump, had nothing to do with racism. It has to do with what the damn flags mean. Which is why they're hanging. Period. Nothing to do with racism. Nothing to do with Trump. I'm not a political person. I won't be voting for any of the crooks. It is what it is. Same archive has him at a Trump rally. Somebody else said can't fit a right-wing narrative. Yeah, but again, I don't get how they are taking what he was doing at that Trump rally and turning that around, making him a Trump fan. He clearly was not. People are just insane. And those are the kind of people that you need to worry about. The people that have built a delusional world around them. This is what happens when that world comes down. Okay? All you folks out there that build this delusional world, man, I'm serious. You need to start building yourself a foundation, because if you do not have a foundation, this is what you get. Plain and simple. They've let people, you're a special snowflake for way too long. Way too long. They started that crap in my youth. That was the very I remember that. Everybody's special. You're a special little snowflake. That started right when I was a youth. Not real strong yet. Really didn't get my generation, but it got the next one. Everybody got a trophy. And next thing you know, we've got mass shootings. Because the special snowflake found out he wasn't really a unicorn and lost it. I'm sorry. I'm not going to cherry coat it. We have to quit this mentality. We have to quit these delusional bubbles. And I'm not speaking about one side. I'm speaking about both sides. Both sides. This political nonsense is enough. Enough. Feel like I live in a country that's like high school. And you got the rivalry high school teams bickering back and forth and setting each other's football fields on fire. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. I don't know, maybe things like that used to kind of happen around here. Not the whole field, but maybe like a logo. You know, mascot or something. It wasn't me. I wasn't involved in sports, but I remember the story. So anyway, yeah, that was back in the day. Back in the day, you know what? I went to high school. I kid you not, and I'm sure there are many others that could tell you the same story. And there were kids, they were usually the farm kids, would have shotguns and rifles in the back window of their truck. And not a damn school shooting to be found. Why? Because everybody didn't get a trophy. Everybody wasn't a special snowflake. And people had to find self-discipline, self-motivation. They had to push themselves to move forward. You learn a lot when you do that. If you don't go through that experience, there are so many things about life you just don't learn. And then when you go and you build some delusional world all up around you and you try to stand on that quicksand, it's tragic. Yeah, I went through it. I wasn't a liberal, but I absolutely had a delusional world that I had myself convinced I was in. Maybe it's something that we all go through to some extent, not necessarily to an extreme extent. But we gotta stop. we got to stop pandering to all this nonsense. We just got to stop. Like I've been saying now for quite some time. Just got to tell them no. Anyway, I'm on one hell of a soapbox. Let me get off that box, and I'll run through the tabs, and then we'll do the headlines, and I'll get the hell out of here and not be the cranky old bastard. Jen's over there laughing. Like, yeah, as if. Hang on. Independence Day shooting suspect arrested. And, there we go. Quite a bit more there now. Police have detained 22-year-old person of interest in Highland Park, Illinois mass shooting. Authorities have apprehended a suspect gunman in the Highland Park, Illinois mass shooting, where at least 6 people were killed and dozens injured during an Independence Day parade on Monday. The suspect's vehicle was spotted by a police officer around 6:30 p.m., and following a brief pursuit, he was taken into custody without incident. Authorities confirmed on Monday evening, some 9 hours after the shooting. Local police and the FBI earlier identified 22-year-old Robert E. Cremo III as the main person of interest in the attack and cautioned that he should be considered armed and dangerous. Authorities believe there was only one shooter but have yet to press any charges against the detained men. Yeah, and he was apparently dressed different when they picked him up because he was like in skinny jeans and, skinny pants. And I don't think they were maybe jeans. They might have been, I don't know what you would call them. But they were pants of some kind. And looked like he had a, black shirt on with a red shirt underneath of it. So, let's see. The gunman opened fire at the Independence Day parade from a rooftop of a commercial building around 10:15 a.m., injuring dozens and sending hundreds, including families with children, to flee in panic. 5 people were killed at the scene, while another victim died at the hospital. And then it went into the dumb-ass in chief and their comments. Anyway, I don't know what to call him anymore, consider him anymore. It's just insane world. So we'll see. Like I said, there's a lot more information that will be coming out on this particular situation. I am glad. I'm really curious about that, because I just happened. They mentioned the name and I was on it. Boom. I mean, they said the name, and the moment they said the name live, I was on it like you wouldn't believe, and sure enough, came up with his Facebook profile. From there, came up with, I'm assuming, his YouTube page, and he had that file there. That's a Google Drive file or whatever. But so yeah, that's if they haven't removed that file yet. Who knows? I'm sure they will. And I don't get it, because it's like they want to hide what these people are doing. The very warning signs that people should be calling out, they want to sweep under the rug and say, oh, well, we shouldn't make them famous. That's what they say. We shouldn't make them famous. You shouldn't let people know what to look out for? Excuse me? We don't get safer by idiocy. We get safer by education. Anyway. I was just looking up at the chat. Steve, get off my yard. Hell yeah. I need to make me a sign that says get off my lawn. Put it in the front yard. Let's see. So let's go ahead and move on. New documents expose secret U.S. wars, says The Intercept. This here says the U.S. has reportedly used a secretive authority called 127E to launch at least 24 proxy wars since 2017, according to an article published on Friday by The Intercept. The outlet claims to have obtained never-before-seen documents and spoken to top officials with intimate knowledge of these programs. The Intercept received the documents through the Freedom of Information Act, claiming these papers are the first ever official confirmation that at least 14 so-called 127E programs were active in the greater Middle East and Asia-Pacific regions as recently as 2020. In total, the Pentagon reportedly launched 23 separate 127E programs across the globe between 2017 and 2020, which cost U.S. taxpayers $310 million. Don't you just love how they throw money around? It's ridiculous. I'm not reading all that nonsense. They do so much crap so many different places, including on their own people. They're focused on that right now. Oh, man. Yeah, that was a nice glider flight that I had this morning that I recorded and put the video up of. So that was a nice, relaxing, calm flight. I enjoyed that. I still don't think that the thermals were realistic, because I really have a hard time believing that I made it from St. Louis to Huron, Illinois. And all I had to do was get my initial altitude, and then from there was able to make it. I kind of have a feeling that the thermals are kind of on steroids. So, anyway, I enjoyed it. It was fun, relaxing. It suckered me into it again. Back in the FSX days, I can remember condemning or being condescending about flying gliders. And because somebody had brought it up to me, and I'm like, you're nuts, you know. And so I installed one and got in it and played around with it and found out that I absolutely loved it. And it did it to me again. I've been avoiding installing the glider to go flying around in it just because, you know. And then the Pro version came out, and it's like, okay, I got to give it a shot. And yeah, it suckered me in again. I know you guys are bored. Probably half of you done clicked off. We don't care about this crap. Let's see. UK military hit by cyber attack. British Army social media accounts were hacked. The Defense Ministry revealed with the military's pages featuring cryptocurrency and NFT-related content before the problem was resolved. On Sunday evening, the ministry issued a statement saying that the breach of the Army's Twitter and YouTube accounts that occurred earlier today has been resolved and an investigation is underway. The Army takes information security extremely seriously, and until their investigation is complete, it would be inappropriate to comment further, the military said. The British Army apologized for the temporary interruption to its feed and pledged to learn its lessons. So, yeah. Probably Russia. Alright, let's see. More energy issues going on across the pond. Every second German fears freezing this winter, says a poll. Says here half of German citizens say they fear a lack of heating this coming winter due to reduced Russian gas supplies and rising inflation in the European Union, Bild reported on Sunday, citing the results of a survey carried out by the Institute for New Social Answers, or the INSA. Pardon me. The poll revealed that 75% of respondents see recent price hikes as a heavy burden, while 50% said that they feel their economic conditions are worsening, In June, inflation in the Eurozone hit 8.6%, making the highest level since the introduction of the single currency over 2 decades ago. A separate survey conducted by the German Economic Institute revealed that more than 20 million Germans feel threatened by energy poverty. The results of the poll published by Die Welt on Sunday shows that in May, a quarter of the German population had to spend over 10% of their net household income on energy. Last year, the share of those affected stood at about 14.5%. The risk of energy poverty has increased enormously, Ralph Henger, economist for housing policy at IW, said. Galloping energy prices are putting increasing financial pressure on private households. On Saturday, Federal Network Agency President Klaus Mueller urged house and apartment owners to have their gas boilers and radiators checked and adjusted to maximize their efficiency. The appeal comes amid drastic reductions of Russian gas supplies to the country via Nord Stream pipeline due to technical issues stemming from Western sanctions imposed on Moscow. Additionally, Russia halted gas supplies to Finland, Poland, Bulgaria, Denmark's Ørsted, Dutch company Gasterra, and energy giant Shell for its German contracts for refusing to adapt the gas for rubles payment scheme introduced by Moscow in response to sanctions. Last week, Nord Stream AG, the operator of undersea pipeline, said it would shut down both sections of the route for annual repair works from July 11th to July 21st. Gazprom, the firm's majority shareholder, says the maintenance was scheduled and agreed with all partners. So I'm kind of curious if they start it back up after they shut it down. They're already in a bad spot now. Even shutting it down for the maintenance is going to put them in a real bad spot. But if they decide not to turn it back on, that's going to get nuts. Oh, man. Trying to at least try to somewhat relax. I mean, damn, I've been at it all day. I've been watching as much as I can, trying to find out as much as I can. That was pretty insane. I don't know how, what their big pieces of evidence was. I'm assuming maybe they had a serial number on a firearm. I'm thinking maybe they knew that they may have knew that was his dad's. But I don't know whose firearm it was. I'm assuming. Everything I'm doing is assumption. Okay, I know nothing of the facts as of yet, other than what they've released, and of course they haven't released any of that information yet. But I'm just suspecting that was probably his father's gun. That other case that happened, Uvalde, that was a different situation there, I believe, when it came to procuring those weapons. I don't think that was the case here, but I could be proven wrong. I mean, he's 22 years old. If he didn't have any felonies on his record, he could have got one. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what we find out. I don't think he would have really had the fun. I don't know. There again, I don't know what kind of weapon it was. They've been been real tight on sharing that information. The only thing they've said is a high-powered rifle. Now, since he's been apprehended, maybe they might have said more, but I haven't personally caught that as of yet. The only thing I've heard so far is a high-powered rifle. So, yeah, where did he get the money? That would be the big question. And that same question was asked with the situation with Uvalde. And apparently, it is feasible that guy could have put back that kind of money. Plus, there was some stuff missing, I guess, from somewhere he worked or something. There was some stuff missing, and I think there was a suspicion that he might have sold that stuff for money to buy it. Yeah, they caught they caught him before the show started, so that's a good thing. I know there was I don't know if I mentioned this or not. I know I mentioned it in chat, and in response to Tracy. I know that there was a ton of people. I don't know why, but it kind of caught me by surprise. There was a ton of people at the police department. And when I say a ton of people, I'm not talking about media. I am talking about people that live in the community that are at that police department waiting for them to bring him in. They are waiting for them to bring him in to the jail and book him, because apparently he hadn't been taken there yet. I don't know where he was, but they hadn't taken him to the jail yet. So there was a ton of people there waiting to see him get taken in, and that's just I don't know that that's a normal thing, is it? It might be. It might be. Maybe it's just something I'd never noticed before, or just never seen before. But it almost seems like the mood is different. It almost seems like the mood is different. Nah, I don't know. Can't put my finger on it. But anyway, let me continue on. Oh, wow. You went to school with his dad. Oh, wow. I know we always get confused with Highland Park because we live in Highland, which is down more near St. Louis. And so we get confused with Highland Park from time to time. So yeah, it's crazy though. Oh, he did have an FBI hat on in one of his pictures. That's crazy. That is crazy. Let's see. European gas prices pushing higher. Natural gas prices in Europe have surged to the highest since March amid reduced Russian supplies and an impending strike in Norway, a major energy supplier to the continent. August futures on the TTF trading hub in the Netherlands jumped as much as 10%, reaching $1,722 per 1,000 cubic meters, or 161.5 euros, that's about $168.80 per megawatt hour in household terms. The planned industrial action at the gas fields of Europe's strategically important supplier is reportedly threatening to cut daily gas exports by nearly 13%, tightening the grip on a market that's already reeling from reduced deliveries from Russia. 3 Norwegian fields are set to be shut down by the strike starting Tuesday, while planned action the following day would take out another 3 projects, Bloomberg reports. Supply concerns are extremely high and the market continues to add risk premium, analyst at trade firm Energy Denmark said in a note seen by the agency. Analysts expect the energy situation to remain tense this week, with further price hikes possible if flows remain low. And remember, in a week or so, they're going to be shutting it off. European gas prices have more than doubled this year, having peaked at historic high of $3,900 per 1,000 cubic meters in early March after Russia launched a military operation in neighboring Ukraine. Crazy. Let's see. Hang on. Okay, did that automatically... I never knew I set up an automatic thing on our thingy. Okay, I'll have... Somebody's messaging our Facebook page. Well, 4th of July... Well, I don't know if they're watching live now or not, but they're asking if I considered the numbers relevant to the Bible dates, 47, July 4th, or numbers pertaining to different types of weapons. That's a good eye with like the AK-47. However, I don't think that's what it is. I think it's most likely either the date or there's something, a much deeper meaning, something maybe possibly that's in the Bible, or, I don't know. I'm sure that'll get figured out. I'm sure that'll probably get figured out. I don't know. It might have just simply been the date. I mean, this may have been planned that much. Now, I wonder if there's a possibility if the plans change. The reason why I say this is because specifically in those videos, he showed a car. And that car had 47 wrote on the sides. And that makes me beg to question, was his initial plan to drive the car through the parade like happened before? Could that have been his initial plan? I don't know. I'm speculating, I'm just thinking, I'm just brainstorming, throwing different things out there. Because, there's a lot of smart people out there in the world, and sometimes you just got to get that light to flick in their head, and they can catch on to the rest of it, or they know this or that, or, So I like to brainstorm, I like to put things out there. Interesting stuff. Anyway, let me get back to this here. That's going to distract me a lot as far as that case, as far as in just general life. That stuff's crazy. That is just absolutely crazy. So now get this, and I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this, and we'll get the headline, and then we'll get the heck out of here. U.S. state bans teaching of gender ideology. Now, this is Florida. And again, I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this because it doesn't deserve a ton of time. In fact, I even debated whether I was going to even bring it up because I don't like giving this stuff any attention. But anyway, so Florida recently passed a law, right, to stop the teaching of sexuality and gender identity to kids, okay? And then turn around, the same Florida has in Miami a drag queen performing with little girls. So, kind of a little bit of a disconnect there. Again, I'm not going to read all of the article, but man, and we wonder what happened to this country. Well, good men and good women did not stand up and say no. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. Okay. Have another sip, couple of vapes. We'll run through these headlines and I'll run out the door screaming. She's ignoring me. That would be the dog. Completely ignoring me. I got on her bad side a couple of times today, I think. Picking on her. Oop, hang on. Got a, well, that's good. China denies the moon takeover plans. Well, I know I couldn't hardly sleep at night until they confirmed that they aren't planning to take over the moon. I mean, we gotta have we gotta have opportunity for Boner Rocket Bezos to put a hotel up there. Can't let China take it over. Let's see. Okay. All these I started sharing out from this morning. Russia makes massive oil discovery in the Arctic. Russia could destroy half of Lithuania's economy, says the governor. Russia becomes India's top fertilizer supplier. Russia warns Finland against NATO border base. Inflation in Spain hits 37-year high. German chancellor predicts how world will look in 2050. Well, I've heard a rumor that we'll all own nothing and be happy. Germany, not me, maybe other people, but I figure my head would probably be in a bucket or something. Germany explains its stance on arming Ukraine. Every second German fears freezing this winter, says a poll. Oh, I read that article. Uzbek government concedes to protesters' demands after deadly riots. Let's see. Japan warned about Russian gas supply. University cancels lecture on biological gender. Do we really need a lecture on that? I mean, pretty much I got taught that when I was a little bitty kid. Right? Let's see. And all I needed to know about it, right? I looked down, that meant I was a boy. Simple. Very simple. Let's see. EU grabbed more power to wage economic war against Russia, says media. Defense Minister updates Putin on latest Ukrainian losses. UK wants to rebuild Ukraine with Russian money. Ukraine admits no potential to join NATO anytime soon. Germany posts first trade deficit in 30 years. Ukraine seeks ways to get more EU money. Poland alarmed by West losing interest in Ukraine conflict. Let's see. Russia comments on UN Security Council expansion. Let's see. A top EU importer of Russian LNG revealed. A scale of Ukraine's reconstruction costs revealed. New documents expose. I covered that one. I covered that one. European gas prices pushing higher. I covered that one. I just go down the list. No, I didn't intend that. Conscription letters served at Ukrainian churches, says an MP. So that means they're going around to churches to draft people. A UK drone squadron has no drones. Then are they really a drone squadron? They just a squadron? I mean, maybe they're a pre-drone squadron, but not yet a full-fledged drone squadron. You got no drones, bro. Washington hits back at Bezos over Biden criticism. British fighter files appeal against death sentence. Kissinger comments on Zelensky's criticisms. Let's see. Europe faces catch-22 on green energy transition, says an expert. Is that the same catch-22 that every nation has ran into? Probably. Germany looking for solution to solve gas problem. You don't say. Well, what about all those panels? You were leading in solar power production. Germany, I can remember you were bragging about it, talking about how much solar power you had. How's that working out for you? I like solar power. I don't want anybody to think I'm against alternative or renewable energy. I love it. But we're not there yet. We're just not there yet. A U.S. state bans teaching, I covered that, of gender ideology. West has buried freedom of speech, says Moscow. I would agree with that. Let's see, covered that. Biden reacts to Independence Day shooting. He said, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, something like that. Controversial Ukrainian envoy to leave Germany, says media. Israel exonerates itself in shooting death of Palestinian journalists. Don't you love it? Yeah, we've investigated ourselves. We're fine. We're clear. Let's see. And that's it. Because I told you about China denying their moon takeover plans. So they're not going to do it. They're not invading the moon. Taiwan, maybe. The moon, no. Maybe in a few years. But No, they'll springboard off of Taiwan to the moon. That's what they'll do. Anyway, I know I shouldn't joke about it, but what are you going to do? We can throw a fit, we can cry, we can run around the house screaming, which is what I'm going to do as soon as I close up here. And that makes me feel better. Just run around house screaming as loud as I can, top of my lungs. I feel a lot better afterwards, you know. Usually they jab me in the neck with the Ativan as they're holding me down on the ground. Yeah, I feel a lot better about that moment. I'm kidding. I'm bored. What am I gonna do? Anyway, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get the hell out of here and relax for the rest of the evening. I will talk to you cats tomorrow, God willing, and we'll do it all over again. So I hope everybody has a safe, quiet night, and hope to see you tomorrow. And as always, God bless you. We love you. Be one with your spirit, and shalom.